Welcome to this session of Functionize training in how to build tests for two-factor authentication. My name is Jamie Kurt, Director of QA here at Functionize. Today we are going to cover how to use the Functionize email reader tool to retrieve a verification code. Let's get started. Click on New Test, Architect. Enter the URL of the application under test. Our Salesforce sandbox environment requires two-factor authentication in order to log in. Go ahead and click the Start button. Functionize will then launch the application under test and open the Architect window for you to start recording. Clear all of my temporary storage. And now I'm ready to begin walking through the two-factor authentication login process for Salesforce. First, I'm going to verify that I see the login link at the top of the page. Then I'm going to hover on the login link. From there, I will click on the Salesforce link, which then takes me to the Salesforce login screen. Again, I'm going to verify that the login screen has appeared by verifying the login button. Then I'm going to enter my login credentials. Click Login. At this point, this is where Salesforce invokes the two-factor authentication. I'm going to verify that I see this two-factor authentication or verify your identity screen. Then I'm going to go to the plus sign. I'm going to open our email reader tool. I'm going to open that email reader tool in a new tab. Click Continue. From here, I'm going to verify that this email tool reader page is opened. I'm going to enter my registered email address for my Salesforce account. Click the Submit button. Verify that I see the Verify Your Identity. Click on the Verify Your Identity. Then I'm going to verify the verification code. Now, every time I execute this test, I'm going to get a new code. So instead of verifying that exact number, I'm going to click on the white dot. I'm going to change the operator to a not equal sign. And then I'm going to verify that it's not equal to blank. Just ensure that there's a code there. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And now what I can do is switch back to the Verify Your Identity Salesforce tab. From here, what I can do is click the plus sign. Click the Data button, do Previous Action, select the step where we verified the verification code. Again, just because we did blank, that it still captured the number that's there. Then I select the attribute, so I want to use the text attribute that contains that verification code. And then I click the Set Target button. From here, I'm going to enter that verification code and then click the Verify button. Now, because we've referenced that previous action, every time I run that step and get a new verification code, it will enter that new verification code. And then this is all there is to including that two-factor authentication in your Functionize test case. I'm going to now verify that I see the sales module, and that completes the two-factor authentication login into Salesforce. From here, I'm going to go ahead and save the test case, give the test case a name, Salesforce 2FA login. Click Continue. And I'm going to save the test as a test case and click Save and Run Test. This will perform a live execution of the test where it will actually connect into the Google Cloud to the VM that is spun up, and we will be able to actually watch the test case execute live in front of us on that VM in the Google Cloud. Now we've made the connection into the VM on the cloud that's been provisioned for our test. Now open a Chrome window and launch the URL of the application under test. And we verify that we see the login link on the page. Then hover on that login menu and click the Salesforce link. We then verify that we've landed on the login page and we enter our username and password, and then click the login button. Now we've hit the verify your identity. We open a second tab. For the email reader, we enter our email address. We retrieve the verification code. Again, you can see it's a different number than when we originally recorded it. We enter that verification code and verify. Here's what the test case looks like after it's been executed for two-factor authentication. Click on the test case name, brought to the test case detail page. Click view results. Then you can see we hover on the login menu, click the Salesforce link, enter our credentials in the Salesforce login screen, click the login button, then we're taken to the verify your identity page. From there, we open our email reader tool. We verify that the email reader tool has opened. We enter our registered email address for our Salesforce account. Click the submit button. Verify your identity in Salesforce email appears. Click on that email. Verify that the verification code exists, that it's not blank. And then we switch back to the verify your identity tab and enter that value from the previous step 1.25. Click the verify button. From there, we are then brought into the Salesforce screen and we verify that we see the sales module of Salesforce, thus completing the login with two-factor authentication into our Salesforce sandbox.